Grand Rising, everyone. So I'm back, and I'm back with another dream. This particular dream, I guess I was in like this, I don't want to say another world, but I was somewhere, right? And in this place, I had like a team. I guess it was like a group of people, and we all worked together. I'm not sure if it was like a sports team or a life team, just whatever. We were a group of people who had some type of bond to each other. And then there was like the school bus, and we were like getting off and on the bus, doing tasks together, figuring things out. Then we had this main place that we go to, I guess to rest and recuperate or whatnot. And in the basement of this place, there's like this dungeon. It's like a door, and the door kind of protrudes out a little bit, but there's like hella chains and locks on this particular door. And usually we have to do things to the door. Like in the beginning, I didn't know why or what was the reason why we did these things to the door, but we would like throw food down the door, or we would uh like tap in certain areas around the door or secure the door in certain ways. It was just kind of routine for us to do that, even though we didn't know why we were doing these things. So as time progressed and we were doing more tasks, I guess going about our group lives together, there started being this like banging at that door in the dungeon. And we would go down there, we would throw more food, we would tap it at certain angles, we would put more locks on it, we would push it in certain angles. And then we started like, I guess, soothing it. Like, I don't know. After a while, I felt like we were like talking to like, or quelling someone or something. I just didn't know what it was. But the more intense the noise got, or more intense the banging got, the closer it seemed for me to realize or face what was behind that door. Until the last time that I remember trying to really quell whatever was behind that door. Um, Remember I said the door protruded outward a little bit? The actual being, which I found out what it was, it slammed so hard that the part of the door that was out shooted out another inch, to the point that the door was off the hinge, and all that was holding the door up was the chains that we placed around the door. And then I looked face to face, eye to eye, to what was behind that door. And it was the most evil, vile, disgusting beast I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, holy shit, we've been like feeding this beast and trying to quell this beast like this whole time. Like that's what we were doing. And I was like, oh shit, I was so scared. So everyone came in the group, tried to like slam the door closed, put more chains on it. But with the realization of what it was and what we were doing, I realized that I there was only but so much more we can do to quell the beast behind this door. No tapping, no singing, no dancing, no food, no soothing voice was able to quell, because I think it was the beast was getting used to what we were doing. And the more it was getting used to the actions that we did to kind of quell it, the more it desired. Um, then I woke up. So I woke up with the eyes of the beast on my mind. And when I woke up, I was kind of like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck was that? Like, you're really tripping. Like, what did you eat last night? Like, this doesn't even make any sense. And the dream absolutely made no sense to me when I woke up. But as I do, I thought about it for a second when I woke up. Didn't have anything I can bring out of the dream. So I just went about my normal day. And I'm going to spare you the details of my day, but I will say the conversations I had with particular people and brought me to a realization of what the dream meant. And it was very obvious, but not obvious at the same time. And to me, the beast signified all the negativity, all our past skeletons and demons we try to swallow and keep below us, and we try to quell all the issues and dramas and traumas that we try not to deal with. We try to just keep pressing on. We try to remain unbothered and carefree. And after a while, it will catch up with you. What you used to do to appease yourself amidst all the negativity that surrounds you, all your feelings you try to ignore, it may work for a while. You may be able to swallow the pain, the anger, the hurt, the resentment until you even forget why you were hurt and resented for, or what you have resentment for, to a point that it's a locked trauma in your brain that you don't even remember why you were mad or why you carry all this anger. Why are you always hurt despite good things going on around you? And that's why we need therapy or ayahuasca or some type of plant medicine, because it kind of unlocks what we locked away from ourselves and how we ineffectively tried to cope by not dealing. So, if I can do anything with this dream, I suppose I would like it to represent a wake up call to the fact that you can hide from your demons. You can run away from them also, but eventually they will find you, and eventually you will tire out and they will catch up with you. So, as inconvenient, as overwhelming as it may be to start the process of healing, to recognize that you need healing, to dig deep within ourselves and face that demon that terrifies us so, it's something that we have to do. We owe it to ourselves, our healing. And also be patient and kind with yourself. The first step is recognizing. And after recognizing, it may take you days, months, years to actually start doing the work. But as long as you're honest with yourself and where you're at in that process, and you try your best to face that demon, it may take you a couple of times, because I must admit, I was terrified. I was like, when I saw his eyes, I was like, oh shit, lock him away. I'm done. Don't need to see no more. But then after a while, I was just like, okay, maybe a little peek, maybe a little inch, maybe unlock one chain. Maybe if we talk to him nice, he can be easy with me. It's okay as long as you make them steps of uncovering it. And remember too that although your healing is your own and only you can heal yourself, we are still in this world as a community. And although people cannot do the healing for you, they can support you in the healing and direct you to walk your own path and give you the strength to face your demons and know that you have support behind you while you do your own work. It's like cheerleaders, right? But it's ultimately up to you. And I hope whoever's listening to this and they can relate to what I speak of, I pray that you find the strength to recognize that you have demons, recognize what those demons are, decide to face them, actually face them, deal with them, and heal. and ultimately let go. Because I guess what the goal is, right, is to not have any demons in the dungeon. That's the idealistic goal. And I do recognize as you let some demons go and you heal with them, sometimes new ones will come into your life and then you have to deal with them, and it's a forever evolving process because we're always becoming ourselves. We're always going back into the dark to come back into the light. And every time we do that, we're not going backwards. We are not. Just because you have to go back into your dungeon or back into the darkness does not mean you're not progressing. It actually means you are progressing, because there will always be demons to face. There will always be dragons to slay and new heights that you go to, and you're going to forever be evolving into your higher self until you die. And then who knows? Then it's a whole nother journey, right? So I say all of this to say life is a forever evolving, forever experiencing journey where you have feelings, but you are not your feelings. Your feelings just trigger you to deal with your emotions, to deal with yourself, to deal with things that have happened to you. But those things do not define you. Those traumas you've been through does not define you. Your feelings do not define you. You are in control of your own mind. And your feelings are just hints towards you becoming your higher self and you dealing with yourself. So, yeah. And that's like a whole nother topic. So I don't even want to get into that because I'm going to stray so much from my dream, but it's just a lot. I guess that's my point. It's a lot. It's overwhelming, and finding yourself and dealing with your demons and having trials and tribulations is difficult. It's not easy. It's crazy because the thing about feelings, I had the feeling of fear once I saw the demon's eyes, and I had to be fear. Like the fear alerted me to something. It was like a sign. And without the fear and the distress that the fear instilled in me, I would have never known that there was an issue that I had to deal with. So the fear alerted me to my demons. It wasn't that the fear is the emotion that I should harp on, but the fear pointed me in the direction of what I needed to deal with. And it was up to me to either be, I guess, engulfed in the body of fear and dwell on that emotion, or take the next step of recognition of my fears and realizing that there was something behind that feeling instead of focusing on the feeling. And that's what I mean about like feelings and emotions. They're all alerts, like different alerts. And if I wasn't stricken with the fear of demons in my body, you know, I would have never took the time to say shit. I was really quelling something because in the beginning, when I was just feeding it or trying to quell it or pacify it, it was a very like passive thing. I wasn't scared. I was just like, oh, whatever. Like, this is just something that I do to keep it pushing so I can complete my task. But it wasn't until I was fearful that it stopped me in my tracks to say, oh shit, like I have a bigger problem that no matter what task I have to do out in this world, I have to handle this situation and I have to handle it now because it's getting out of hand. So sometimes the fear and the actual picture of a demon, because when you see a demon, you're like, oh shit, like the fuck? Like, first thing you want to do is fucking run. Like, I'll be ready to go. But to stand strong and 10 toes down, like, I am facing you, requires so much strength that I guess sometimes we believe it's not in us. But we have to come to terms with ourselves and know that we are stronger than any boogeyman out there. And that the boogeymans are just mere creations in your own mind that is substituting actual fears that you have or actual traumas that you may or may not realize that you have gone through, or sometimes inanimate fears that plague our minds that we have not controlled, whether we have experienced it or not. So, yeah, the power of feelings and emotions. What I have found is the way my personal relationship with fear has been is fear is there to like shake you up and be like, deal with this shit now, bitch. Like, you ain't got no time. Like, it kind of like has your heart pumping, has you scared. It really wants you to withdraw. But even though you feel that way, that's not, to me personally, that's not what fear intention is for you. Fear intention is for you to think deeper into it, for you to take urgency in what it's trying to show you. And that's why it stirs up so much like hyperactive, scared emotion in us, because it's not that it's telling us to go away and hide. It's telling us to deal with it now, and this is of utmost importance right now. And thinking about fear in that way has been such a life changer. Because I met this person before, and this person told me, like, whatever you're fearful of is what you should go for. Whatever strikes such fear in your heart is the thing that you should be most attracted to. It's like, why am I fearful? Because that fear is showing you, like, deal with this shit now. It's of utmost urgency and importance. And I guess that's the whole point I mean. I know I keep reiterating, but that's the whole point I mean of like your feelings are just signs and signals to like your path in life, but it's not your path. It's the motions you go through to decide where your feet goes next. And that shit is real as fuck and deep as fuck. So, ironically, don't be scared of your fears. Step into that shit. When you see that demon look hella crazy. Shit look hella scary. But I'm laughing because it only looks hella scary because of how we program our minds, or how society has programmed our minds already to deal with demons, to deal with negativity, and deal with so and so forth, evil. But I don't believe in evil and good. I believe in negative and positive. And I feel like when you think of things not in the evil and good light, but the negative and positive light, and you feel that you can go through darkness, which is negative, and come into positive, which is light, that's where that darkness through light thing comes in. You will live a so much more peaceful life, regardless if your emotions is throwing you for a motherfucking loop. So, yeah. Even though I was scared when I woke up, and I was scared during the dream, especially when I saw them devil eyes, them demon, nasty, like, eyes, it just made me realize it's not the devil or the demon that I should be focusing on. It's the issues that are utmost important that I need to deal with now. That the feeling of fear with looking in their eyes instilled in me. That leads me to deal, to cope, to understand, to elevate above and accept the feelings I feel that are locked away in that dungeon. So I hope y'all got something out of this. It's really crazy, and there's so many conversations upon conversations we can have. All in all, like, it's a pleasure to feel and to see and to be at some point that negative demon and transmute that negative dark experience into something positive and enlightening in a way in which I can become a better version of myself or more of myself. So yeah, shit was real. So I'm here to give you strength, the knowledge that you are always in control and that you can, one by one, little by little, unlocking one lock at a time, can face your demons and start your path of healing. And know that no matter how many demons we slay, life will always be full of unfaithful expectations.